Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Hedera or Hbar. And just like my last video, I'm pretty much going to be slowing down in all of my videos just so that you guys could comprehend a lot more easier and all that kind of stuff. So sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I just want to ask you guys could please leave a like on this video. It does help the channel grow immensely. You guys have no idea how much it truly does help. It only takes 2 seconds, and guys, I will greatly appreciate it. Now, with everything that's been happening in the market, from my earlier video on XRP, I told you guys that with the major indices, things look a little bit bearish. In terms of Bitcoin, I'm not too dead set on everything looking pretty bullish for tonight's, weekly candle close. But I do just want to ask you guys, how is everybody doing? How was everybody's weekend? I do want to hear from you guys, and I do want to pretty much know how you guys' weekend was. Now, with everything that has been going on, we have been seeing a lot of updates within Hedera. We are still up about 5% today, and we are not slowing down. Now, I will say this. If we can get a weekly candle close above 36 cents or even 35 cents, that'll be extremely bullish for us. And we have been making some moves, but I'm more so dead set on those targets that I have on the chart, which is around like 35.7 to almost 36 cents. So I'm still watching those, targets very, very closely, especially considering the fact that we have quite a bit of volume now on Hbar, and the prices are looking fairly good. Now, of course, I'm not going to be talking to you guys about too much TA in this video. Let's move on and let's actually talk about some exciting things that are unfolding throughout this entire market currently. Now, we did talk more so about the rapid transactions per second that was happening yesterday, but we actually do see here, snapshot from this morning at 8:35 a.m. CT. It's only a matter of time, thanks Mr. Lehman Baird. And then, of course, this is coming from, Shane Higdon. Now, and also, by the way, this is Mr. Lemon Baird, or Bird. It's fairly funny. But overall, this is pretty interesting to say the least when we're talking about things that are happening. This was actually just from today at 9:42 a.m., as you guys do see the timestamp there. And we were hitting 2,000 plus transactions per second at 80 million testnet transactions and almost 2 billion mainnet transactions. Now, of course, I am not too sure right now on the transactions. I did not look at the number today. I'm sorry, but overall, we do know that the transactions are ramping up, and this is also very good. Now, of course, when we're talking about things that are ramping up, we also look at what is happening throughout the entire ecosystem for Hbar. Now, we do read a little bit of tweets, but I do want to talk to you guys about some other stuff as well in this video. But we do see here, I see a big shift in how Hedera and Hbar Foundation team members talk about the future of Hedera and Hbar. And I've also been noticing this fairly significantly. Now, we do also see here, they're telling us more openly now that Hbar is going to explode and become dominant crypto in the field. Huge things are coming in 2022. It was all worth the wait. And of course, people are talking more so about Hbar being worth 1.7K by 2023. I don't know about that. Of course, do I think that will happen at some point in time? It's possible, but of course, that's a long way in the future, and I do not even want to think about the inflation rates at that point. But we also see here, are HSBC and IBM leveraging Hbar? And I've told you guys about how big HSBC is as an entire bank. And we do see here IBM on GC, Hedera integrated with IBM Hyperledger and R3 Corda. Don Thibeo, I hope that I said that name right, and H10 represented Hbar at, or NR3 at the LA French Tech CBDC event. HTS and HTS successfully leveraged in Shinhan XSB stablecoin. Big news due next week as well. So when we're talking about all of this stuff, there was quite a bit of things to really kind of talk about within this. We see here on Thursday, HSBC and IBM announced the successful test of an advanced token and digital wallet settlement between two central bank digital currencies. IBM's Hyperledger Fabric and enterprise technology provider R3's Corda served as the basis of the distributed ledger facilitating the transactions. The project was overseen by central bank Banque de France. And of course, Swiss franc and euro was involved in terms of digitization. And we do see our central bank digital currency, CBDCs, a game changer for the monetary system. You can pretty much see these major individuals. We do see R3 and Hbar Foundation there listed. And overall, when we're talking about this, going back to April 2020 of this, well, last year, sorry, 21st, Also, shout out to Zepsi for this, by the way. Hedera Consensus Service is a wonderfully flexible developer tool serving as a consensus mechanism for permission blockchain networks. This starts by providing a solution to act as a decentralized ordering service for Hyperledger Fabric or Notary in Corda networks. So, direct overall plugins and stuff for Corda and also Hyperledger Fabric. We've talked about this, we've discussed this in the past, but is this directly correlated here? Because it is fairly interesting. And when we're talking more so about the IBM use case here with Hedera, we do see here, creating a more interoperable blockchain future. Plug and play interoperability. I've always told you guys how big interoperability is. I've always talked about Q&T for this. But we do see here the IBM blockchain platform is proud to announce our tech preview with Hedera Hashgraph, representing a step towards increased interoperability for enterprise blockchain networks, looking for the transparency of public but privacy of permission networks. And of course, Hyperledger Fabric is mentioned multiple times here. And we do see here the importance of the ecosystem is what led us to join the Hedera Governing Council for Hedera Hashgraph back in 2019. Since we began our relationship with Hedera, they have done nothing but deliver valuable innovations that support and enhance capabilities within the enterprise blockchain space. We are thrilled with this tech preview to take another step forward in our relationship. So I could just imagine the use cases that are unfolding here. And would it surprise me if, Hbar had a sort of, step within this major, test? It would not surprise me. This is all interoperability. This is successful multi-ledger CBDC demo, which of course, when we're talking about this, interoperability would be the key overall, fundamental for this. And we even see here, we have 4 blockchains in production at the moment, private permission blockchains on the IBM blockchain platform. And when I look at what a public-private hybrid allows for its use case that is about audibility, network growth, and participation in a lot of respects. So, this is 4 blockchains, okay? With all of these DLTs, these major blockchains, they would all have to be interconnected or, essentially interoperable together. We even see here, right? This architecture could be used to issue stablecoins, interact with central bank digital currencies, and improve efficiencies across financial services for both banks and their customers, all with interoperability top in mind. Interoperability is going to be the biggest key use case and biggest key thing to really kind of look for in terms of value being able to communicate with one another. I suspect that this could be very big. Of course, this is with IBM, so directly correlating to the multi-ledger CBDC demo, I believe that Hedera would have a big step in that. Now, we also did see Boeing wants to build its next airplane in the metaverse. Now, we do know Boeing is a GC member. I would not be surprised if this was working with Hedera for this. The plane maker is entering 2022, fighting to reassert its engineering dominance after the 737 MAX crisis, while laying the foundation for a future aircraft program over the next decade, a $15 billion gamble. It also aims to prevent future manufacturing problems like the structural flaws that have waylaid its 787 Dreamliner over the past year as well. So, overall, I think that this could get very interesting in terms of the digital revolution that we always talk about. Digitization is really going to be spreading into major markets, and we do see here it's about strengthening engineering. We are talking about changing the way we work across the entire company. So, this could be very interesting. Do I believe that this is with Hedera? Would not surprise me. Now we do see here, so how does the metaverse, come into play? When we're talking about this, we even see here, like Airbus, Boeing's holy grail for the next new aircraft is to build and link virtual 3-dimensional digital twin replicas of the jet and the production system able to run simulations. So, in my mind, I think that this is going to allow them to, you actually even see here, right? You will get speed, you will get improved quality, better communication, and better responsiveness when issues occur. So, this is all going to be for testing, to really kind of look at what they can fix in terms of problems as well. The digital mockups are backed by digital thread that stitches together every piece of information about the aircraft from its infancy, from airline requirements to millions of parts to thousands of pages of certification documentations or documents in general, extending deep into the supply chain. So this could get very interesting very fast. When the quality from the supply base is better, when the airplane build goes together more smoothly, when you minimize rework, the financial performance will follow from that as well. So I think that this could get incredible in terms of the use cases that could come from this. I mean, we're talking more so about simulations being ran, testing being ran throughout this as well. The metaverse isn't just about gaming. The metaverse isn't just about, hey, look, it's pretty cool. It's digital. You could pretty much jump into it and play a video game from a first-person perspective and all this kind of stuff. No, it's way bigger than that. I think that this could get very interesting for a lot of these major companies to really kind of test their, products. And Boeing definitely being the number one. Like I said, they had crises up here. They had problems. This could allow them to fix a lot of those problems, and this could lead to a huge amount of money being invested into something like this to really kind of help those services unfold and really kind of allow for, better reworkings and stuff like that. Now we also look here, right? I don't get excited at Hbar breaking the top 30 because I know it's a top 5 coin and one of the only ones that can kill Bitcoin. Getting excited about Hedera moving up in the rankings would be similar to me getting excited that I need air to breathe. And it definitely is something like that. I mean, honestly, when we're talking about, these use cases, like I know that this isn't directly correlated to Hedera. Trust me, I don't think, when you're looking at things, you should directly correlate them to it just because of the GC alone. But I will say this, with Hedera's, strides that they are making within the metaverse, it would not surprise me at all. In terms of this is pretty much going to strengthen the idea of building things, allowing for a lot less, errors to be made and stuff like that. The simulations that they will run will definitely be key for development and for building in general. But when we're talking about everything that Hedera is doing, everything from them stepping into NFTs to the metaverse to use cases well beyond those, it just tells me that Hbar is definitely going to be a top tier asset. I mean, just look in general what people are really kind of looking at. It's more so for sustainability throughout these industries. Again, sowing the seeds of green NFTs. Siva Love and Dovu partners to make NFTs carbon neutral. This goes back to November 30th. Both, are within the Hedera ecosystem, as you guys are probably aware. And when we're talking about NFTs becoming green, that is going to be huge, okay? So, NFTs being carbon neutral is definitely something that, needs to become a thing. And when we're talking about, all of the use cases within Hedera scene, it's all about sustainability. If you don't believe me, just look at this, right? Top 5 global utility EDF joins Hedera's governing council. Now, this is for building a net zero energy future. Okay, and when we look back on things, net zero energy and net zero carbon design strategies to reach performance goals, this is going to be a huge thing. I mean, when we're talking about, the Earth right now, we see here, these percentages are expected to double in total footprint by 2060 in terms of energy consumptions, energy-related carbon emissions, and even resource consumption globally. So if these are going to double, first off, right there, 36% of energy consumption, 38% of energy-related carbon emissions, and 50% of resource consumption globally. So think about how massive this would become, okay? So when we're talking about this, we want sustainability. Hedera is building that. So when we're talking about this, okay, they want to achieve carbon neutrality by 2050 at least for, electricity. That's huge. Okay, when we're talking about some of these platforms, some of these major networks are building NFT platforms and, they're building marketplaces that are pretty cool. Yeah, whatever. Okay? Hedera is literally building the future of energy. Literally, this is going to be used by every individual, retail or not. Okay? This is going to bleed into everyday life. This is huge. I've discussed to you guys how big Hedera is going to be at scale. This alone, okay, the world will be built on Hedera. This is going to bleed into everyday life. And I say that multiple times because I want you all to understand how big this use case actually is. Because when we're talking about sustainability, it is the biggest, concern right now for a lot of individuals. And we even see here, right? Hedera Hashgraph beats DOT competitors on energy consumption. This goes back to September 8th. Then when we take a little bit, of a step back to August 8th, Hedera Hashgraph devs report going carbon negative. Tell me another network within this space that is going carbon negative. Tell me another asset within the space that is going to, revolutionize energy in general. I mean, a net zero energy future, yeah, that's going to be huge, especially from an overall standpoint from governments, from corporations. This is huge, not even from a retail standpoint, but from an overall standpoint from pretty much anybody and everyone. So, with all of that in mind, I do completely agree. HBAR is probably one of the only assets in the space right now that truly has the potential to overrun Bitcoin and really kill it. I always hate to use that term kill, but in general, when we're talking about the next major number one asset, I do have a few in mind, but HBAR definitely is in the top 3, and that's why I personally believe in what Hedera is really becoming. I know, from an overall standpoint, everybody's focused on the price. It's hard not to focus on the price when you have invested money into something, but I just want you guys to understand that Hedera is truly becoming a leading name in the game for multiple things. Not only NFTs, not only metaverse, not only pretty much energy and stuff like that and sustainability, but it's becoming a leading name within almost every single industry alone. So with all of that in mind, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. It's been Nick. Peace out, guys.